Today's episode of Aquatic Wetline is brought to you by Oasis Aquatics. Find your Oasis today. Find your next fish at oasisaquaticsnj.com. Check out Oasis Aquatics on Facebook and Instagram.
This fish keeping live stream is also presented to you by AquaScapeOnline. AquaScapeOnline is run by Pedro Villegas. AquaScape specializes in piranhas, freshwater stingrays, and other South American exotic fish. Check out aquascapeonline.com for a full stock list and to see what you can purchase. Aqua Alex thanks AquaScapeOnline for the support.
Every Friday night.
Hey, can you turn that down?
Never!
Don't try this at home.
Good Friday evening, fish keepers. Welcome to the second episode of Friday Live with Aqua Alex Cardinale. I apologize for the late start this evening, but I'm glad to finally be live here on Friday Live with Aqua Alex Cardinale. Happy Memorial Weekend to all the fish keepers in the United States of America. I thank you for joining me on this Friday evening as I host a very special fish keeping live stream. I have a very good episode coming your way tonight. My special guest tonight is the owner of TangledUpInCichlids.com, Kevin Cumberton. My featured fish tonight is the Amphilophus Red Devil Cichlid. My featured aquarium product is Seachem Prime, which is my favorite aquarium water conditioner. I'm also going to be discussing unique catfish and unique knifefish species. And Aqua Alexa has facts on setting up has facts on doing water changes and tips for getting new fish. And I'm also going to reveal the new fish that I'll be getting from Oasis Aquatics next week here on Friday Live. All that and more right here, right now on Friday Live with Aqua Alex. As always, if you have any fish keeping questions, please feel free to post them in the comments and I will answer your questions. And you're more than welcome to come on the show and chat tropical fish with me. If you're watching us on YouTube, just click the link in the chat, which is on the screen right now also. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get this episode started. And we're going to start with a segment I like to call Aqua Alex Asks You. And I've got some questions that I'm going to ask you, and I would like your answers. So here are this week's Aqua Alex Asks You questions. Please post your answers in the comments or in the chat down below. How long have you been keeping fish? What are your biggest pet peeves in the aquarium hobby? And who are your mentors in the aquarium hobby? Go ahead and post your answers in the chat and comments down below, and I will react to your answers, and I will respond to your answers as well. So I'll begin by answering these questions. How long have I been keeping fish? For as long as I can remember. I was born in the aquarium hobby because my dad had been keeping fish way before I was conceived. So pretty much fish keeping is in my blood. So I was born into the aquarium hobby. But to answer your question, I am 30 years old, and I got my very first aquarium at the age of 12. And ironically, my very first fish is this episode's featured fish, the red devil cichlid. I have a lot of love and respect for the red devil cichlid, but it's certainly a boisterous cichlid, a very monster cichlid, and a very aggressive cichlid that deserves a tank in its own right, its very own tank, because otherwise it'll terrorize anything you put in with it. So what are my biggest pet peeves in the aquarium hobby? Well, this past Tuesday on a special episode of Aquatic Wetline, I covered this very topic. But I'm going to briefly recap what I discussed this past Tuesday. So some of my biggest pet peeves in the aquarium hobby are the fish tank police, or as I call them, the fish tank gatekeepers, who think they control everything about the aquarium hobby and who think they control what fish keepers keep and how they keep their fish. And the fish keeping gatekeepers and fish keeping police can be a huge nuisance to the aquarium hobby. Let's not forget the fact that there are some incredibly rude fish keepers in the aquarium hobby, unfortunately. But that all ties in with the fish keeping gatekeepers and the fish keeping police. Another pet peeve that I have is fish keepers that don't do their research, and they buy fish that outgrow their aquarium, or they buy fish that are too aggressive for their aquarium. So those are my two biggest pet peeves. But I want to know, what are your pet peeves in the aquarium hobby? And lastly, who are my mentors in the aquarium hobby? That is a loaded question for sure, because there are a lot of people that I look up to in the aquarium hobby. The first is actually a gentleman who is a year younger than I am. He's younger than me, and I look up to him. And his name is Tom McGuire. He is the owner of Oasis Aquatics, so he is one of my fish keeping mentors. And then there is Sam Scales, who is a mentor of mine and a mentor of many other people as well. So those are my two mentors in the aquarium hobby. So go ahead and post your answers down in the comments. And we actually have a surprise here this evening on Friday Live. We have someone that's going to be joining us on the show right now. A very cool, unexpected surprise. Let's go ahead and welcome our surprise. Hey, Matt, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Hey, Matt, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm good. Can you hear me?
Perfect. How are you today? Can you hear me?
I'm good. Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I appreciate it.
I'm good. I don't know if this camera thing is working.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today. That's okay. I can hear you.
I don't know if this camera thing is working. Well, I had two of those. I don't know if this camera thing is working. Well, I had two of those.
There's an echo going on somehow.
Yeah, it's really weird. Well, I had two of those.
I wonder why. Let me see.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know. I don't know how to get this camera to work. I'm probably going to have to break your camera. I don't know how to get this camera to work.
There it is. I see you now.
I'm probably going to have to break the camera. Oh, there I am.
Is that your cat behind you?
Now, there's a cat on my head somewhere. Yeah, that's Max.
Nice.
There's
So how's
three of
the
them running
Friday?
around. There's 3 cats running around: a chihuahua, a rat, a couple reptiles, some fish. It's a zoo. There's 3 of them running around. There's 3 cats running around: a chihuahua.
Nice. So you have a
rat,
nice zoo in your house.
It's a zoo. There's 3 cats running around: a chihuahua.
Nice. So you have a nice zoo in your house.
Yeah, everybody knows I got a few animals.
How you feeling today?
I'm okay, man. Therapy kicked my butt, but I'm good.
That's good.
I'm okay.
So what do
man.
you have for fish currently?
I can't hear you about the fish.
Oh, I said, what do you have for fish currently?
My tank is empty at the moment. I can't hear you about the fish.
Oh, that sucks. You have to get some new ones.
Yeah, I'm waiting. We're going to be moving in probably August. The water here is killing everything.
Oh, that sucks. You have to get some new ones. Oh, that's cool. Hopefully moving to a bigger place.
We're going to be moving in probably August. The water here is killing everything.
Well, that's cool. Hopefully moving to a bigger place.
We're going to be moving in probably August. The water here is killing everything. So on the TV, it says our group's new name. Did you do the promo for it?
Not yet. I'll do that tonight. Tonight or tomorrow.
Group's new name. Did you do the promo for it?
Not yet. I'll do that tonight. Tonight or tomorrow.
Up, you're fired.
Would you like to tell them the new name?
It should say it where my picture is.
Yes, it does. It says founder of Fair on Facebook.
Yeah, it won't let me type out the whole name.
Founder of Fair on Facebook.
But nobody knows what fair means.
I do. It means fish, amphibians, insects, and reptiles.
Nope, invertebrates and reptiles. Fair means.
Oh, I don't know where I got insects from.
Nope, invertebrates and reptiles.
So they made someone like an idiot on air.
Let me see your questions. How long have I kept fish? I got my first tank when I was 5 years old. Let me see your questions. How long have
So that was many moons ago.
First tank when I was 5 years old. I'm 57, so 52 years.
Nice. That's not too bad.
Let me see. Biggest pet peeve in the aquarium hobby? King of DIY.
I agree. I agree.
King of DIY.
I agree.
What's the last one? Okay. Oh, mentors in the aquarium hobby. People I look up to would be Big Rich Price. Of course, Brian Barczyk, even though he passed away. God bless the Barczyk family. Of course, Brian Barczyk.
Yes, it's a shame that he passed away. He was such an intelligent man.
Family. Yeah, but Noah Barczyk has stepped up. Reptile Army for life.
That's awesome. They have a beautiful anaconda.
Barczyk has stepped up. Reptile Army for life. You can't see, but I've actually got a Reptarium shirt on right now.
Nice. Yeah, I saw it on Facebook.
Every doctor's appointment, man. I'm getting strength from Brian.
That's good.
Every doctor's appointment, man. I'm getting strength from Brian. I don't know if I hold the camera out. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see a little bit of it.
There it is.
It looks nice.
Yeah, I've got several reptariums. I've got a Legacy Aquarium shirt. I've got my 1 million wrist bracelet on that never comes off. Yeah, I've got several reptariums. I've got a Legacy Aquarium shirt.
Nice. You're a big supporter of them. That's great.
Bracelet on that never comes off. It's been no secret for many, many years that I'm a huge fan of the man.
That's good. He's a great man and very intelligent.
Many years. Mentor, hero, yeah.
That's
I'm
good.
trying to get my whole self in this picture, but I really can't see the TV from here. I'm trying to get my
That's
whole
okay.
self.
I can see you.
I really can't see the TV from here. It's the other cat you got to look out for. The orange one's crazy.
I know. I'm the cool cat.
The orange one's crazy. Yeah, we just hit 10,400 people in our main group.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
We got about 220 in the new sales group. I don't know why it looks like I'm sideways. We got about 220 in the new sales group. I don't know why it looks like I'm sideways. It's kind of hard to tell up and down sometimes when you have vertigo all the time.
I know. So what are you doing for Memorial Weekend?
You have vertigo all sitting right here.
Me too.
Probably going to try to go to the mall tomorrow and practice walking with my walker with my family.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, anytime I can get out and try to exercise my legs, because the left one is still totally paralyzed. Well, anytime I can
That sucks. Hopefully not for long.
We'll find out Wednesday if I can have surgery on my back or not, and that might help.
Hopefully you can.
Wednesday if I can have surgery on my back or not, and that might help. Well, the neurologist cleared me today for it.
That's good. That's a good start.
Well, the neurologist cleared me today for it. I almost got an emerald boa, but I can't have it because the wife doesn't want it in the house.
Oh, she's scared of snakes?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. They're harmless.
She should have known me when I was a kid. I had 47 of them in the house.
Nice.
I caught them all. She should have known me when I was a kid.
Nice.
I had 47 of them in the house.
What's your favorite one?
I had 2 scarlet king snakes that I caught. I love those.
Nice.
This camera is just moving everywhere because my hands shake. I had 2 scarlet king snakes that I caught.
That's okay. No big deal. Nice.
I'm surprised I figured out how to do this tonight. My hands shake.
Yeah, it's nice to see you on camera for once. No big deal.
Yeah, I don't do this often. I'm surprised I figured out.
Only for me.
That is kind of true. I get asked. No, my wife could tell you. I get weekly requests to be on channels, and people want me to start my own channel, but I'm not gonna. I don't have the health. I don't have the health right now to do this.
Oh yeah, that's understandable.
Well, but I'm not gonna. I mean, right now, going out and being busy and going to the doctor and cleaning my enclosures is what I can do.
That's good. And when you move, you can have fish again.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want to keep this time?
I don't know. I'm leaning towards koi angels.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Well, I haven't had them in about 20 years, so no experience again.
They're one of my favorite angelfish besides the wild caught ones.
Had them in about Well, I was gonna do Lake Victoria Cichlids, but I just don't think I want that big a tank again.
That's understandable for now.
Well, I
Might
can't
get
do ladders. Well, I can't do ladders anymore.
Oh, that's understandable now.
I can't do ladders. Well, I can't do ladders anymore. That's one of those things. I mean, I'm getting really good at this wheelchair stuff, so if I can get tanks slow enough, I can work on in a wheelchair. Great.
No more reaching for the pot of gold.
I can do that. I'm the one that guards it. I'm the leprechaun.
I'm just joking with you.
So what did you order from Oasis?
So I ordered from Oasis a beautiful Oranate Biker, a Starry Night Cichlid, and a Royal Pleco. So I ordered from Oasis a beautiful Oranate Biker, a Starry Night Cichlid, and a Royal Pleco.
You better. Watch that ornate if it's small.
He's about
It'll be
5,
lunch.
6 inches. Yeah, he's a medium size, I think. 5 or 6 inches.
We got an echo on the TV. It's weird here.
I don't know why it's doing that.
I don't know. I've got the phone totally muted. The TV's saying everything twice.
I don't know why it's doing that.
I don't know. I've got the phone.
I can hear it, I think.
I'm trying to find a place where I'm back on the screen. If I turn you sideways, does it work? I'm trying to find a place where I'm back on the screen. I don't know. If I turn you sideways, does it work? Whoa, I'm upside down. What the heck did I just do? Hey, what the hell? Hey, what the hell?
That's better.
Who's that ugly dude? Oh, that must be for that new Planet of the Apes movie. Who's that ugly dude? Oh, that must be for that new Planet
That
of
was
the
a good
Apes
one.
So, I guess we'll put this out on YouTube. Because hardly anybody knows yet, and I didn't say it in the group. I guess we'll put this out on YouTube. So I go to the neurologist today, and we went in thinking we were getting bad news, and we got good news. So I go to the neurologist today. Really
That's
good
great.
news. We went in thinking we were getting bad news, and we got good news. So the swelling on my brain that was on the MRI the day of my stroke is not on the second MRI at all. The swelling has gone completely down. The MRI the day of my stroke is
Nice, that's good.
The MRI at all. The swelling has gone completely down. So I'm not going to have surgery on my brainstem.
That's good. So you'll be 100% smart again.
So I'm not going to have surgery on my brainstem.
That's good. So you'll be 100% smart again.
I'm already smart.
I'm teasing.
Think about it this way. Who has 2 major strokes, dies twice, gets revived, and still runs a Facebook group?
Not many people.
Who has 2 major strokes, dies twice, gets revived, and still runs a Facebook group?
Not many people.
Who has 2 major strokes, dies twice, gets revived? Dude, this echo is weird.
I wonder if it's because you're watching the live stream.
Oh no. Echo is weird.
I wonder if it's because you're watching the live stream.
Oh no.
It's happened to a couple of my guests for some reason lately. It could be StreamYard. Who knows?
Yeah, it did it when Ryan was on. When you were talking to Ryan that night about his album, it was doing it. Yeah, I did it when Ryan was on.
I don't know why. I'll have to contact them and let them know.
When you were talking to Ryan that night about his album, it was doing it. See, the phone's going back and forth because I have to switch hands. When you were talking to Ryan that night about his album, it was doing it. See, the phone's going back and forth because I have to switch hands. I have barely any use of my left hand. Luckily, I have a live-in
That
nurse.
sucks.
I need to get a seeing eye Asian arowana.
Nice.
I need a seeing
I
eye
wish they had
Asian
them.
arowana. All right, how do I get off here? Because I'm starting to get a headache. All right, I'll talk to you later.
No problem. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. All right. So you see, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. All right. Let's welcome Aqua Alexa to the show now. And now Aqua Alexa is going to have facts on water changes and getting new fish for your home aquarium, because water changes are really important. So let's welcome Aqua Alexa to the show. And once again, thank you, Matt, for being a part of tonight's live stream.
Aqua Alexa here, and let's get this party started with some facts on water changes and buying tropical fish. Water changes are the most important aspect of aquarium care. Only diet ties with how important water changes are, and they are equally important. You can provide the best food or water quality, but if one is lacking, it can undo the highest quality in the other. There are many vital things that water changes do for the aquarium. A healthy aquarium change schedule can actually help save money when it comes to filtration, since they can make the use of carbon filtration completely unnecessary. Nothing, absolutely nothing, can make up for a lack of water changes. Filtration can't do it. Special additives and special types of filtration can't do it. Nothing can replace water changes. It is important to understand exactly what filtration and water changes do so that you understand the difference. Filters do two main things. First is that they provide a place for the bacteria that consume ammonia and nitrite to grow. The surface or of biomedias and the flow of the filter create the perfect submerged habitat for these nitrifying bacteria. The other main function is to physically collect debris and particulates from the water column for the aquarist to remove during monthly filter maintenance. This is why it is vital to perform filter maintenance every single month, regardless of the type or brand of filter being used or whether the flow is reduced or not. Water changes maintain water quality long-term. Long-term referring to years and years, even decades. The problem with water changes is that their results are long-term. Many people only see short-term. So if someone stops doing water changes or cuts back drastically, like only doing water changes once a month, they may not see any major difference. The reason is that the problems that a lack of water changes cause short-term are very subtle. Many people feel it is best to leave well enough alone and not fix what isn't broken. This idea leads to neglect, and the aquarium and all its inhabitants will suffer. Water changes do two things simultaneously. Most importantly, they remove all the bad things that build up in the aquarium over time. These things include nitrate, phosphate, growth-inhibiting hormones that many if not most fish give off, dissolved organic compounds, and other things. Although nitrate is far from the only bad thing that builds up, it is the only one we have test kits for, and it does correlate very well with all of the other bad things that build up. This is why so many people make such a big issue out of nitrate. The only exceptions are heavily planted tanks where nitrate and phosphate may be removed, but not the other things, and when nitrate-specific medias are used, such as Purigen. In these cases, nitrate tests may show it is nice and low, but you have selected the one thing that you can test for and tricked yourself into thinking the water is better than it is. This is one reason why water changes are beneficial, even heavily planted tanks. The other major function of water changes is to bring in good things that are used up over time. The end result of all the biological activity in an aquarium is acidification. This uses up the KH in the water. As the KH is used up, the pH will decrease. Eventually, the pH can crash. There are many other vital minerals and trace elements needed that are replenished with water changes. Water changes have a massive impact on stocking. It is negligent to discuss stocking without addressing water changes and water quality. Discussing stocking based on tank size alone is no different than simply going by one of the very flawed, 1 inch per gallon type guides. Experiments have shown that it is the water quality, not tank volume, that stunts fish. Discus were raised in 2 different setups. One was a 20-gallon tank that was heavily stocked and received very large daily water changes. The other setup was a 55-gallon tank with a small fraction of the number of fish and did not receive any water changes. The discus in the 20-gallon grew at a normal rate while those grown in the 55 were severely stunted. The experiences of many other aquarists support the results of this experiment, demonstrating that it is definitely water quality, not volume, that is the active factor in stunting fish. Water changes should be done on a weekly basis. This frequency gives little time for the chemistry in the aquarium to change significantly from the tap water. Over time, the chemistry in an aquarium changes, and allowing too much time between water changes allows the tank's water chemistry to change too much. This can lead to stressful changes in chemistry when the water change is finally done if it's too large. The amount changed at each water change should be whatever is needed to keep the nitrate concentration under 20 ppm. This means that if a weekly water change of 25% doesn't keep the nitrate concentration under 20 ppm, then the amount of water changed every week needs to be increased. Anytime the size of the water changes change, it should be done slowly. So you should not jump from a weekly 25% water change to 50%. Increase the amount by 5 to 10% each water change to allow the fish to acclimate to the new schedule and to allow you to catch any issues that may cause problems. Smaller water changes allow for more error than larger water changes. For example, if the temperature is not perfect for a 25% water change, it may not cause any problems. The same temperature difference with a 50% water change could be enough to stress the fish. Another issue is that the water heater may provide enough hot water for a 25% water change but then run out shortly after. Larger is better though. Big weekly water changes allow fish to truly thrive. They grow faster, get bigger, have better colors, have fewer health issues, and breed better. Long-term the difference is significant. It's amazing how good fish can look with big weekly water changes. Water changes are one of the most powerful ways to prevent and treat almost all problems that an aquarist is likely to encounter. A healthy water change schedule can prevent most of the problems an aquarist might otherwise experience. Equipment needed for water changes: gravel siphon, buckets, python water changer, if you prefer to drain and refill your aquarium instead of using buckets. How to perform water changes: siphon debris out of substrate using the siphon and drain dirty water into buckets. Refill with clean fresh water and add Seachem Prime or other tap water conditioner. Tips for purchasing new fish: choose compatible fish species. Deciding which species to buy and whether they can live happily together in the same tank requires some thought and good advice. Do research. Don't overcrowd the aquarium. Stressed out fish can quickly become sick fish, so avoid tank overcrowding. It can be tempting to continuously add new fish to the tank, but it's a risky approach. Instead, add a few fish at a time over a period of days, gradually introducing newcomers to the existing aquarium. Make sure you buy your fish from a reputable vendor. Before buying tropical fish, it's important to investigate the reputation of the breeder. Adding diseased fish to an aquarium can have catastrophic effects on the existing population of the tank. Be prudent when looking for a better deal on fish. Prices may vary wildly, but the reputation and quality of a breeder is paramount if you're introducing new fish to an existing tank. When you're visiting an aquatic shop for the first time, start by looking for telltale signs of mishandling or neglect: injured, dead and depleted numbers of fish, dirty tanks and poor hygiene standards, and a lack of adequate lighting and coral are all giveaways. Ask the breeder if they use a quarantine tank, and ask to see it. Don't forget to acclimatize your fish. Imagine how uncomfortable you'd be if you jumped into a pool whose temperature you weren't ready for. Likewise the case for your tropical fish. Never dump them into your new aquarium without acclimatizing them first, or they could suffer shock, stress, and potentially death. Next week Aqua Alexa will have facts on acclimating new fish to your aquarium and tips for adding new fish to your aquarium.
Why, thank you, Aqua Alexa, for those amazing facts here on this week's edition of Friday Live with Aqua Alex. And now we get to our featured fish for this evening. This week we are featuring the Amphilophus red devil cichlid. This is one of my favorite Central American cichlids. It is a very popular Central American cichlid. It is so popular that it has been hybridized in the aquarium hobby. It has been hybridized with the Midas cichlid to create the My Devil. And of course, the Amphilophus is also responsible for flower horns and blood parrots. Now, if I were to have multi-tank syndrome and I had a separate 125 available, I definitely would have a adult red devil in there because they are absolutely stunning once they reach adulthood, but they're definitely aggressive. Anyway, let's learn about this week's featured fish, the Amphilophus red devil. Very, very cool fish.
This week's Aqua Alex featured fish is the red devil cichlid. Amphilophus labiatus is an aggressive substrate-spawning cichlid native to Lake Nicaragua, first typed by Gunther in 1864. Synonyms for this fish are Cyclosoma labiatus, Cyclosoma labiatum, and Amphilophus labiatum. Amphilophus labiatus and the closely related Amphilophus citronellum, common name equals Midas cichlid, are often confused and quite likely hybridized. Amphilophus labiatus and Amphilophus citronellus are found sympatrically in Lake Nicaragua and in a number of same color combinations, gray, white, yellow, orange, and tan, in patterns including the marbled pattern above. The species name labiatus means thick-lipped. It would be convenient if you could tell these species apart by looking at the lips, but that simply isn't a reliable determinant. Aquarium specimens seldom exhibit fleshy lips. There are documented wild populations of A. citronellus that have fleshy lips. Although native to Nicaragua, feral populations of this fish have been discovered in the states of Hawaii and Florida in the United States. It is a hardy, adaptable fish that gets quite large. Foot-long males are not unusual. Females are generally about 25% smaller. Amphilophus labiatus can be difficult to pair up, but successful pairs generally are excellent parents and will raise the fry for up to 8 weeks. Amphilophus labiatus has a powerful jaw structure and wild fish, and some domestic individuals sport extended, fleshy lips. Aggressive males can take on just about any other fish of similar size, so only keep it with other large, aggressive tankmates. Habitat: Amphilophus labiatus is found closely associated with the bottom of Lake Nicaragua and only occasionally enters nearby streams. Care: Amphilophus labiatus isn't hard to keep, but this large messy fish necessitates frequent water changes to maintain water quality. Large tanks are a must. I recommend a minimum of a 75-gallon tank. Feeding: in the wild, Amphilophus labiatus eats snails, insects, and other fish. In the aquarium, they readily take a variety of prepared foods. Next week, get ready to learn about the Dovey cichlid.
And that was this week's featured fish, the gorgeous red devil cichlid, a very cool cichlid from Central America. All right, right now it is time for the Little Egypt Aquarium Club featured products. So let's see what product we are going to be featuring from Little Egypt Aquarium Club this week. So this week we are going to be featuring another Rapashi product from Little Egypt Aquarium Club, and it is known as Rapashi Meat Pie. So the Little Egypt Aquarium Club featured product this week is Rapashi Meat Pie, which is featured on the screen right now. So the meat pie formula is extremely high in bioavailable protein. It has more than 55% of protein, And this formula is designed for freshwater and saltwater meat-eating carnivores and scavengers. It features whole sardine meat, whole squid meat, whole krill meal as its primary ingredients. It has protein levels that replicate that of whole aquatic animal organisms, such as fish, crustaceans, insects, and mollusks. It should be used as the staple diet for carnivores. It could also be used as an occasional treat or for conditioning omnivorous species, but it is too high in protein for constant feeding to omnivores. Meat pie is also separately labeled for reptile and amphibian use and is suitable for feeding species of turtles, newts, and lizards. So the reptile variant of Repashy meat pie has 45% of protein, but the fish keeping variety has 10% more at 55%. So Repashy meat pie is available right now at Little Egypt Aquarium Club. So I would hurry up and go get it because Little Egypt Aquarium Club will unfortunately be closing down very soon, I was told. So make sure you go get your Repashy meat pie right now. All right. So in just 1 second here, we are going to be talking about some new fish that I'll be getting from my sponsor, Oasis Aquatics. Now, earlier in the show, I said that the owner of Oasis Aquatics, Tom McGuire, is one of my aquarium mentors, the guy that I look up to in the aquarium hobby. Well, his fish store is one of my favorite fish stores, one of my favorite online fish stores, and I'm sure in February when I head up to New Jersey, it'll be a favorite in-person fish store as well. But one of the things that I have to say is that Tom is a very genuine person, and I can't wait to get my new fish from Tom this coming week. So this week I'll be getting some new fish from Oasis Aquatics, and now I'm going to reveal all 5 of the new fish that I will be getting this week. So I was supposed to get them last week, but we were both busy and we couldn't make our schedules work. But I'm going to be getting them this week, and they're going to be an incredible addition to my aquarium. So coming up in just 1 second, I am going to reveal the new fish that I'm getting from our sponsor.
So my name is Tom. I started fish keeping when my grandfather dug a fish tank out of the attic when I was about 5 years old.
So my name's Matt. I'm part of Oasis Aquatics. Been doing this for a long time. Started when I was about 7 years old. 22 years of doing this business.
I'm 29 years old now. I never stopped. There wasn't a day in between where I did not think about fish keeping.
I was doing a vet tech job for many years. Eventually I stopped that because this is my passion in my life.
Matt and I have known each other far too long, as many friendships should be.
And you're like, you know what? We need a fish store. There's no fish stores around here. So we had to make it easy access for everyone, to have many varieties from the little small stuff for everyone to the monster fish keeper people.
No matter what it is that you're looking to do, we can provide it for you.
All right, so now it's time to reveal the new fish species that I'll be getting from Oasis Aquatics. Earlier in the show, I announced 3 of them, but I'm actually getting 5 species of fish from Oasis Aquatics. And next Friday here on Friday Live, I will have the official unboxing, so you'll be able to see how the fish look. But one of the fish that I'm going to be getting is a very good-sized Oronite biker. So I think it's about 6 inches, which would be a very good-sized biker for my aquarium. Perfect size because I can grow out my Oronite biker starting at 6 inches all the way up to 18 inches, which is generally their full-grown size. So I can't wait to have an Oronite biker. It's been a while since I've had an Oronite biker. I'm also going to be getting another albino Oscar to replace the one that I lost a couple of weeks ago. So that's going to be very exciting. I'm also going to be getting my very first African cichlid. and it's going to be a starry night cichlid, also known as the Madagascar cichlid or the Paratupa pallini, which is a fish that I've wanted for many years, but I've held off on getting until now because I was looking for a perfect size, and now he has them at a great size. So I'll be getting a Paratupa pallini or a starry night cichlid. And as I mentioned earlier, L191 dual-eyed royal pleco. And there is one fish that I did not mention that I'll be getting, and that is actually a clown knife. It's been about 5 or 6 years at least since I've had a clown knife. So it'll be nice to have one again, grow him out to a decent size, and then give him to my buddy who has a large pond. And it just so happens that my buddy's favorite fish is clown knives. So he'll have a clown knife after I'm done growing him out. So those are the 5 fish that I'll be getting from Oasis Aquatics. And next Friday here on Friday Live, I will have a special unboxing for you. And you never know, there might be some extra fish in there that I might decide to order. So never say never in the aquarium hobby. All right, this week we have a wonderful fish keeping guest joining us here on Friday Live. This week we're going to welcome the owner of Tangled Up in Cichlids, another well-known tropical online fish store that specializes in wild-caught Central and South American cichlids and other oddities. So here is an interview that I had the pleasure of doing with the owner of Tangled Up in Cichlids, Kevin Cumberton. Enjoy this quick interview that I did. This is only a snippet of a full hour interview. You can catch the full interview on my YouTube channel, The Real Alex Cardinale, under the Aquatic Wetline playlist. In cichlids, if that's cool with you.
That's fine.
How
did I? Yeah, go ahead.
I'll start off with the question. How did you get into the aquarium hobby?
I was kind of born into it. As far back as I can remember, as a toddler even, my parents had aquariums, so I kind of grew up around having them. I vividly remember my parents having like red belly piranhas and pink kissing, all kinds of stuff. But the fish that got me hooked, they had a red devil, which I don't know which one it was at the time because we're talking like 1982. So I don't know if it was the Labiatus or the Cichlids, I don't know, but it was a red devil. And I kind of got hooked on it from there. And I was maybe 6 or 7 then. And by the time I was 8, I had gotten my first aquarium for Christmas, and that was it. Took off from there. And I haven't been without ever since. So.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I was born in the aquarium hobby too because my dad was keeping fish before I was born.
Yeah, kind of, when you're born into, you kind of stick with it a little bit. It's very rare to have someone that's been around them forever, not at least have at least one tank in their home as they get older. At least
that's
from
very
what I know.
True.
Yep.
So what are some of your favorite fish species?
Well, the guy behind me, him, that's our shop pet. He's about 12 years old. He's a wild male, Cichlids from Lake Nicaragua. He's actually the grandfather to the juveniles that I offer on my stock list. So if you want to know what they look like, they'll look like that eventually. My home aquarium, oddly enough, my home aquarium has a couple hundred cardinal tetras, a bunch of different dwarf-sized plecos, some Cory cats. I forget which ones off the top of my head. And the only 2 rams, a male and a female wild ram from Colombia, and 2 wild ultim angelfish. That's it. So it's mostly loaded up. Oh, and about 100 emperor tetras as well. So it's a peaceful tank. That's my tank. And then we have another tank that my wife has a pet fish in, and it's a heterotilapia buttercophride. It's a pair, and those are her babies. Those are our pets. So, but that's it at home because here I have, everything I want. So.
Very nice. The ultim angels are a pretty cool fish. I've always wanted to get some ultims, but I've been intimidated by them.
They're not that hard to keep. A lot of people are intimidated by them. The population that I bring in most often is actually from Clearwater River. So they're a little more tolerant of higher pH, a little bit more TDS in the water, so a little bit harder water they can handle. They don't need that like pH of like 6 and no hardness. They do all right. They do fine here, and they do fine in my house. They're going to be fine anywhere.
That's good to know. So when my 75-gallon becomes clear, I'll consider keeping Autumn Angels.
Yeah, those are cool fish.
I'm surprised you didn't say that you had a wild discus in your tank with cardinals. And
No. No, I don't do discus. No, I've had them once or twice on the stock list. Jeff before me always had them, but I don't mess around with them. Where I am in northwestern Jersey, the water is very hard here. So for me to keep discus, it takes a lot of work to keep them. There's a couple different species of fish that I have a difficult time keeping here. Discus would be one of them, so I don't even bother with them. So, and everyone always wants like the hybrid, weird colored ones, and I don't get them, so I only bring in the wild stuff. So that's I don't know if you'll ever see them on my list. Maybe in another couple of years, but not right now.
Yeah, discus can be a little bit finicky and a little bit sensitive, but I like the wild variants better.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, mostly everything here is wild type. Not everything is wild, but a lot of stuff, everything's wild type. Not too many hybrids in here. I have a hemochromous in here that is, I think, is a hybrid or it's a man-made line-bred species. The species turquoise that I have on the list. I think that's the only one though that's not a wild type fish.
So which do you prefer, the wild fish or the captive raised ones?
Either one. There's that whole F1, F2, F3. If it's further than that, it's the colors fade. I don't necessarily find that to be true. People are buying fish from fish stores, your local hobby, your local fish store that are getting stuff farm bred. And those farm bred fish are, 10, 11 generations old, and they're still just as colorful. I lean more towards the wild stuff because I know they're pure. I know they're the real thing. But there's nothing wrong with captive bred stuff.
I agree. I prefer the wild caught fish as well.
Yeah, definitely.
What are your thoughts about hybrids like flower horns and blood parrots?
I don't mind them. They're cool fish. I've never gotten into them. I get emailed daily. So I wake up to a couple hundred emails every single day. And there's at least a dozen emails every day about flower horns. And they use like the crazy names. I don't know any of the names of them. I don't know much about them, so I don't mess with them. There's some specialty stores that really specialize in them, so I kind of leave that to them. I have a local guy who has an online presence as well, and but he has a retail store and he specializes in all that oddball stuff like that. So I let him deal with that. I'm not going to mess with them.
Yeah, I'd like to tell people that ask me about flower horns, I refer them to like Trimax and the Amphilophus species because they're more natural and you'll find them in our natural rivers. Right, and
they're one of the main sources of the flower horn. So I love when I get the question, what kind of flower horn do you think this is? And my answer always is, it's a flower horn. I don't know. It's a hybrid of who knows what. There's no way, they have specific, I guess, hobby names, depending on colors and patterns, I guess, how they grade them. But yeah, to ask what kind it is, I don't know. It's a hybrid of a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. I don't think anybody's really going to know.
That's probably true. The problem with hybrids is they usually have shortened lives because their bodies are so compromised.
Yeah, the further along they're bred, they tend to have issues. And I don't know if it's true or not, but from what I understand on flower horns, and I know I'm going to get a ton of flower horn hate mail now, but but from what I understand is that, a couple generations in, they don't even look like the parents anymore. So they start looking like, all the mixed species of fish that are in there. So that's not cool either. If you're getting a wild fish and you breed it a couple generations and you're not mixing with anything, they're always going to look the same.
That's very cool. So what is your recommendation to beginners that enter the aquarium hobby? Because there's always a lot of people that are entering this hobby, and I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge growing. The hobby's still growing after it's been in, I don't even know how many years it's been going, 100 years at least, I would say, and it's still growing year to year. We were super busy last year despite COVID, or maybe it was because of COVID, but we were super busy last year. But for people getting into the hobby, slow and steady. Everyone wants to jump right in, get the biggest fish they can get or the most fish they can get, and they have problems. It goes without saying, always do your research, look for different vendors online or check your local fish store, and learn as much as you can about the fish you want and the water type you may have at home, because that can make a difference on what you can actually keep successfully.
That's very good advice. I really agree with that. So I know you specialize in cichlids, and I know there's a lot of cichlid enthusiasts that are watching today's video. And when it comes to cichlids, there's a lot of aggression, and cichlids are one of the fish that it can be picky to have tank mates with. So what is your advice to people keeping cichlids in terms of having tank mates and stopping aggression?
That's a good question. There's so many variables. I'm like I got this guy behind me over here somewhere. I can't put anything in the tank with him. He's in a 180-gallon tank right here. And instantly, if I put something in there, it's fish food. Even if it's remotely close to his size, he just kills it. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one to address. Every fish has their own personality. You could be in a room with a bunch of people, and there's always that one guy that's a jerk, causing trouble, and everyone can't wait to kick him out, So, but majority, the rule of thumb is line of sight. Try to break up line of sight. So you want plants, driftwood, rock work, places for fish to retreat. They start getting picked on. You don't necessarily have to pick fish that are, from the same region. I have custom.
So that was a snippet of an hour-long interview that I did with Kevin Cumberton, the owner of TangledUpInCichlids.com. You can watch the full interview on my YouTube channel, The Real Alex Cardinale, under my Aquatic Wetline with Aqua Alex playlist. Unfortunately, we can't upload videos longer than 10 minutes on StreamYard. Otherwise, I would have the entire interview here on tonight's show. All right, moving along, we're going to get to our first topic of the evening here on Friday Live with Aqua Alex. And tonight we're going to be talking about some unique knifefish species. In honor of me getting a clown knife next week, I figured tonight would be interesting enough to talk about unique knifefish and the different types of knifefish that I like. So the very first unique knife we're going to talk about is a different type of clown knife known as the royal clown knife. This is actually a monster knife. It grows much larger than the ordinary clown knife, probably about twice as much as the ordinary clown knife, and it looks a lot different than your ordinary clown knife. Such a very cool fish. Instead of circles, the royal clown knife has dots and stripes, which is very cool. So I've never personally seen a juvenile royal clown knife, so it's hard to imagine what a juvenile clown knife looks like, or a juvenile royal clown knife looks like, but a juvenile ordinary clown knife looks like a royal clown knife at the beginning, but by the time an ordinary clown knife hits about 4 or 5 inches, then they look like the ordinary clown knife and they have spots instead of circles and stripes. So circles and stripes and the larger size is what separates a royal clown knife from an ordinary clown knife. And then we have the zebra knifefish. One of the cool knifefish species from South America is the zebra knife. Very cool fish. They grow to about 1 foot in length, sometimes even larger. Very peaceful. So I wouldn't want to put a zebra knife in with aggressive cichlids because it'll probably get torn to shreds. But I also wouldn't put a zebra knife in with tetras because a zebra knife would eat them. So the zebra knife would actually be an ideal candidate for a sevrum, angelfish, peacefuler South American cichlid tank, and silver dollars and things like that. That would be an ideal tank for a zebra knife, 55 gallons, 75 gallons, and larger. And the last unique knifefish species We're going to talk about one of my all-time favorites. It is a scary fish from the Amazon. It is one of 3 fish that people in the Amazon fear. The first being stingrays, the second being piranhas, and the third being this fish. And that, of course, is the electric eel. But, of course, they're not eels. They're actually knifefish. But the electric eel is a very cool fish from South America. They have an eel-like appearance. They have a bottom dweller-like appearance, but they're actually a knifefish. And what's so cool about the electric eel is they have electric organs all throughout their body. But the strongest electric organs are actually in the pits of their head, right by their eyes and right by their mouth. So the electric eel actually stuns their prey using those pits. And the prey can be anything from juvenile tambaqui, black pacu, to larger fish also. They'll eat larger fish, like cichlids and things like that. But also they use the electricity to stun predators, because in the dry season, things like jaguars, things like caiman, anaconda, and other predators will try and take advantage of electric eels, because much like lungfish, electric eels can live in oxygenated water, and they can live in water that has less oxygen than others. So they're pretty good air breathers. So they can live with wolffish and lungfish during the dry season. And in that time, a lot of fish are dying, and that causes a lot of predators. But electric eel can actually stun the predator from inside and outside the water. So that is very interesting about the electric eel. Very, very cool fish. And the electric eel, believe it or not, is actually kind of popular in the aquarium hobby. I've spoken to a couple of online fish stores, and they say that they sell a lot of electric eels yearly. The electric eel is one of the top sellers. So people are starting to take an interest in electric eels, but they can get up to 6 feet in length, and they're really suitable for specialized aquarists. Definitely not for beginners, because they can't have any tank mates. And you've got to be careful working around electric eels, but they're definitely a very cool, unorthodox knife fish. And one that hopefully in the future, when I have my own place and I have multiple aquariums, I'll be able to keep an electric eel. All right, moving along, let's get to our next topic tonight. It is Memorial Day weekend, after all, and us humans are getting ready for a Memorial Day barbecue and a Memorial Day party, but we can also give our fish some treats here on Memorial Day weekend. Some treats you can give your fish would be things like frozen bloodworms. Last week here on Friday Live, we learned about Akari bloodworms, and I think Akari frozen bloodworms are the best bloodworms on the market. You can give them live earthworms. Earthworms are a great source of protein for carnivorous and meat-eating fish. I think they would appreciate earthworms, market shrimp, and tilapia. And feeders are a great idea, but of course stay away from feeder goldfish. Things like guppies, crayfish, and baby convicts are a more nutritional live food instead of goldfish. So those are treats you can give your fish on Memorial Day weekend, which is this weekend, by the way. All right, now it is time for this week's featured aquarium product. And this week we're going to feature my favorite aquarium water conditioner. It's actually the best water conditioner on the market, not only in my humble opinion, but also in the opinion of many other experienced aquarists. So this week's featured aquarium product is Seachem Prime. And I'm going to give you some information on Seachem Prime, because it really is a great product. Now, Seachem Prime is a complete and concentrated conditioner for freshwater and saltwater. It removes chlorine and chloramine. It detoxifies ammonia, nitrate, and nitrite. It is 5 times more concentrated than competing products. And Prime can be used during tank cycling to alleviate ammonia and nitrite toxicity. It contains a binder which renders ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate non-toxic, allowing the biofilter to more efficiently remove them. It will also detoxify any heavy metals found in the tap water at typical concentration levels. Use at startup and whenever adding or replacing water. When transporting or quarantining fish, use Seachem Stress Guard. And when adding new fish, use Stability. Both are ideal for use with Prime. And that is this week's featured aquarium product, Seachem Prime. All right, tomorrow will be the season 3 premiere of Saturday Live. So before we continue on with this week's episode of Friday Live, here's what you can expect tomorrow night on the season 3 premiere of Saturday Live, tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, here on YouTube channel, The Real Alex Cardinale.
On the next Saturday Live with Alex Cardinale, it's time to kick off a whole new season. It's the Season 3 premiere of Saturday Live with Alex Cardinale, and it's live on Memorial Weekend, Saturday, May 25, 2024, at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Some new segments debut on Saturday Live for Season 3. South Florida Local will feature a local business each and every Saturday night. Our first business we will feature is Kimura Hibachi Restaurant in Boynton Beach, Florida. What's the Haps with Alex Cardinale will feature current events and happenings in the world. Mailbag with Alex Cardinale, where Alex answers your questions and reacts to your comments. All 3 of these segments make their debut on the Season 3 premiere of Saturday Live this Saturday. There will be a special guest. Jeremy Stelhern will be here to chat with the one and only Alex Cardinale. Sergeant Slaughter will have facts on Six Flags New England and Burger Fi. Oasis Aquatics featured fish is the redhead Tapajos geophagus, plus an update on the new fish from Oasis Aquatics. AquaScapeOnline featured fish is the Elongatus piranha. Aqua Alex featured fish is the lemon Jake peacock cichlid. The animal of the week will be the mighty lion. All that and more, including Karens of the week, funny videos, Yankees spotlight, and more. Season 3 premiere of Saturday Live with Alex Cardinale live this Saturday, May 25, 2024 at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on YouTube channel The Real Alex Cardinale.
So that'll be taking place tomorrow here on my YouTube channel at 9 p.m. Eastern. And now let's get to our final topic for this week's edition of Friday Live. Now we're going to talk about unique catfish species. You guys know that I love catfish, and currently I believe I only have 3 catfish species. I've got my 2 Lima shovelnose and my Synodontis cat. So in the future, I'll have to get some more catfish, but catfish are one of my favorite catfish. Catfish are one of my favorite genus of fish. Sorry, it's been a long day, as you guys can probably tell. But anyway, let's talk about my favorite unique catfish species. So up first, we have the Ornate Pictus cat, which is also known as the Pimelota ornatus. Very cool catfish. They can grow to 12 inches, so they grow to a decent size, but not as large as a tiger shovelnose. And then we have the Granulosus cat, which is related to the Niger and Irwini cat. I think they can grow up to 3 feet in length. Very, very cool. And then we have the Horsehead Pimelota cat, which is also a very cool and interesting catfish. And then we have the Asian red-tail catfish, which, believe it or not, grows to the same size as the South American red-tail cat. But the Asian red-tail is a little bit more aggressive than the South American red-tail. And finally, we have a catfish called the shoehead catfish because it does look like a shoe. Very unique, unorthodox catfish from South America. So those are the unique catfish species for this week's episode of Friday Live with Aqua Alex. So it has been an incredible episode tonight. I really enjoyed my special appearance from Matt LeMay, who is the founder of the Facebook group Fish, Amphibians, Inverts, and reptiles. And I'm administrator on that group as well. So it was awesome having Matt make his first appearance on the show. And it was our very first surprise appearance, our first of many surprise appearances here on Friday Live. But next week, it'll be the final episode of May. What can you expect next week here on Friday Live?
Fish Keepers, let's end May with a bang. On the next Friday Live with Aqua Alex Cardinale, a lot of great things will be happening. Live on Friday, May 31st, 2024, at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, come end May with a fish keeping live stream known as Friday Live with Aqua Alex Cardinale. For the first time ever on Friday Live with Aqua Alex, there will be an unboxing of new fish. See Aqua Alex unbox a royal pleco, a clown knife, ornate beeshear, and others from Oasis Aquatics. Who will be the surprise special guest fish keeper? Aqua Alexa will give you tips for acclimating your new fish to your aquarium and tips for adding new fish to your aquarium. Topics will include the most mistreated fish in the aquarium hobby and the most underrated fish. Aqua Alex's featured fish is the Dovey Cichlid. All that and more. Live this Friday, May 31st, 2024 at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on YouTube channel The Real Alex Cardinale and Twitch Real Alex Cardinale 1993.
That's right. Next Friday, we have another great show coming your way featuring an Oasis Aquatics unboxing. So now it is time for our final segment for this week's episode, and I'm going to end this show with a very important message. It is now time for Aqua Alex weekly message to conclude the show. And this week I've got two things that I'm going to mention. So make sure that we are feeding our fish quality fish foods. So use high quality fish foods, because when you use high quality fish foods, you're going to have a high quality fish. I like to keep my foods as natural as possible. That's why I feed raw market shrimp, raw tilapia. That's why I feed live crayfish sometimes, live earthworms, and guppies. And on occasion, I will use a very high quality pellet and flake food and high quality frozen foods. And as I mentioned last week, there is no better frozen foods on the market than Hikari. And finally, do your water changes. As we learned on today's episode, water changes are extremely important. And with that being said, I want to thank all the fish keepers for watching the second episode of Friday Live with Aqua Alex. I hope you enjoyed this show. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, smash that like button, and definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel for more amazing fish keeping content and other content that I have coming your way. Next Friday will be the final Friday Live of May. We've got a great show coming your way next week. Until then, have a great rest of your Friday evening. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, and have a great evening. Thank you for watching, Fish Keepers, and good night from Lake Worth, Florida.
Thank you very much for watching this live stream of the Real Alex Cardinale YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed the show. I want to thank you all for your patronage for the last 10 years. It's going to be incredible riding into the future with more awesome live streams and videos. Aqua Alex Cardinale, Chef Alex Cardinale, WWE fan Alex Cardinale, Detective Alex Cardinale, and the Real Alex Cardinale would like to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this live stream, please smash that like button. If you are new to my YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button and become a legendary viewer and a legendary Cardinale. Check out the Real Alex Cardinale on social media. Facebook Alex Cardinale, American Alex. Instagram instagram.com/Alex Cardinale 93. Fish keepers, please join our amazing Facebook fish keeping group Aquarium Obsession. Check out and support Oasis Aquatics, our amazing supporter since July of 2023. www.oasisaquaticsnj.com. Follow Oasis Aquatics on Facebook and Instagram. Have a good night and thanks for watching. Stay legendary.